Well, there's a new movie confronting Asian hate set to open to the public in Brooklyn tomorrow, despite the pandemic.
Get me an actor, an Asian. No kung flu. This COVID thing is serious. Be careful. It's the game of death. If you have the nerve to shoot during lockdown.
It'll make a good film.
Joining us now to talk more about Duke of New York is the film's director, Eric Rivas. Great to have you with us, Eric.
Great to be back. Great to be back with you guys.
Great to have you. So you've managed to tackle the issue of anti-Asian violence in a very unique and, shall I say, New York City way. Tell us about the plot.
Okay, the plot basically is a couple of sick rich guys, which include Michael Musto and Angel Salazar from Scarface and Rachel Kane. They want to come together and make a film, what would be a snuff film, killing an Asian actor because of the coronavirus. They find a director, down and out, broke, no money, which is me, which is probably close to the truth. And they get me in, in a meeting, and they say to me, for $20,000, we want you to get an Asian actor, make sure he doesn't know martial arts. And long story short, I think it's just a film. And I hire my personal trainer, who's about 28. He lives in Chinatown. He's an Chinese American, born and raised there. And he comes on set. And once we get onto set, and I look at the crew, it looks like a crew out of Predator, almost like Arnold Schwarzenegger and all these bad guys. I had a bad feeling when I got on the set, and I told them, when I call action, just run. And sure enough, I was right. They want to kill him on film. And now they're chasing both of us through the streets of New York, and they got a GPS on him. So it's a little throwback to the Warriors. And you get to see the dark, gritty streets of New York City while the pandemic was really strong, when even you couldn't drive at 10 or 11 at night. We were out there doing our thing with a couple of brave people.
Yeah, one could say it's kind of bizarre, but we're living in a bizarre time, right?
Yes. Bizarre film for a bizarre time. Bizarre methods for a bizarre time.
What struck me is how the central character fought back and then found he had allies. Is that the message?
Yes. I mean, here I am. I'm put in a position to hurt this man, but of course, I don't know it at the time. And when the time comes and I have to make the choice, I don't want to go in that direction. I want to see him get home. And in the movie, his wife is pregnant, and I see him as me 20 years ago. And all I think about is getting this guy home. And in some sort of way, we got to have the Asian person fight back against racism, kick butt like in the old martial art movies we used to watch when we were kids, made it a little fun, took a little bit of the seriousness and the heaviness of the topic, which it's very terrible what's going on with people out there and how Asians are being treated. But at the same time, we made him, knock everybody out and make the racists pay, basically.
Your leading man has a profound story. He's a service member, right?
Yes, he was just going into boot camp as we were finishing the film. And I couldn't believe it. I looked at that situation. I said, look at this guy. People would look at him on the street, somebody who didn't like an Asian person, want to start trouble with him, doesn't even know he loves America. He's going to war. Who knows? God forbid, gets hurt in a war for America. And this is who they're, just pointing out and targeting and picking at as, I just think it's horrible. And I think it was just destiny that we met Brian and that this happened.
So you're New York Weekly. So what moved you to do a story about Asian hate?
I mean, when my mother was young, she took care of a family in Chinatown. She was a babysitter. And as I got older, I always remember going into Chinatown and going to eat in the neighborhoods and being with the family and just, feeling at one with them. And I liked the culture. I had an affinity to it. And I always wanted to stick within those bounds. And ironically, I made this film 10 years ago, and it never was about Asian hate. It was just that the guy they wanted to kill knew martial arts and will come back and kill them. But when I put it into this time frame now, my God, it felt like I was making the movie about this time. It was crazy. There's a detective in my building, and he was saying, Eric, my God, your movie's becoming real. People coming down the street, hitting somebody in the head for no reason, punching a woman. Why? Why are these Asian people suffering like this? And I thought, well, now my movie has a real motivation to do something positive and to, maybe make some changes in the small way that it can.
So where do you want to see the film go from here?
We're going to go to Amazon and all that. I would love for Netflix to see it. I would love for it to go to Tribeca Film Festival. Who knows? I mean, you know, I just want to keep making movies. I love making movies, and I want to be able to touch as many people I can with the films. And I'm just happy to make films. And I'm happy that in the last month, before these strict rules come in with the Delta variant, that we're able to get a theater. And I'm really doing this for the actors. I want everybody to see themselves on the big screen. You know, I think that's a big thing for everybody. They worked hard.
All right. Thank you, Eric.